What's up guys, Isu here, and today I'm going to be doing a little bit different video. I'm doing a little discussion video because recently I made a brand new Dead by Daylight account just to see how it was for the beginners, starting off because I haven't, I had a new account in about 3 years, I would say, and I just wanted to see what it was like. So when I was playing, it kind of inspired me to make this video because everything is completely weird. Like David King being, behind the tutorial and the tutorial itself being horrendous, you know. It I just wanted to make a video about it and just to kind of like point people in a good direction, especially like well perk wise, I would say right now that's what this video is for. Um because as a like a free without buying any like costing DLCs, I believe all the best perks are already on the survivors. Here, let me see. Like, I'll pull it up right now. So, like, as you can see right here, I have like everyone unlocked. But cutting off at David would be all the free characters. And the way that I went, I started leveling up David because he has two really good perks, especially starting off. He has We're Gonna Live Forever, which when a person is on the ground in the dying state, your healing speed increases by 100%, which is basically, doubled. So basically, it takes 16 seconds to heal. It'll heal them up in 8 seconds. But the breadwinner of this perk is the second part, which is you gaining tokens for these actions of either unhooking safely, which is making sure after unhook that survivor does not go down within the next 8 to 10, 12 seconds, just about, as well as taking a hit for a survivor who's injured or rescuing them from a pallet, like stunning a pallet on the killer, stunning the killer with a pallet, and like flashlight saving a survivor out of the killer's palms. You get stacks that can go up to 100%, which will double your BP at the end of the game. Because to me, in this game, it's not about surviving, it's more about getting a lot of blood points, because the blood point grind in this game, or just leveling in this game, because like look at this, you see all these characters, it took a lot of blood points, millions, hundreds of million. Oh my god. And there is there is actually a YouTube video by Trickster Shadow that talks about the grind of this game, the BP grind, how long it could take mathematically, and he does it at the min-maxed, like the most min-maxed way possible. So if you don't do it at that, it can take potentially longer. So I would recommend getting We're Gonna Live Forever if you do enjoy this game and want to play it more. The BP increase is lovely. And after that, I did have to get Dead Heart, which basically it's an exhaustion perk that helps you take another hit. These are the two perks that I got from him. I did not level him up any further after that. So yeah, do not get this perk. No. Yeah, no. If you're a beginner, no. That is a meme. It's terrible. And then after him, I got William Overbeck, Bill from Left 4 Dead, because he's also free. And two other really good perks. These are some of the best perks in the game. They are free still. Borrowed Time and Unbreakable. Borrowed Time gives you the endurance status effect, and that endurance status effect basically lets you take a hit while you're injured. So this is a really good perk. At level 3, that'll be 12 seconds that you have that. That means if a killer is trying to hit the survivor that was just unhooked, that you unhooked while you have this perk, they will not go down immediately. They will have enough time to make it to a pallet or a window, something, for them to be protected from the killer in that time period. And aside from that, we do have Unbreakable, which while you're in the dying state, so when you're on the ground, you do recover 25% faster. At level 3, it is 35%, which is actually 24 seconds. And without this, it would take 32 seconds to fully recover. But with this perk, you actually are able to get up off of the ground. Once, though. It is 1 token. So, yeah, we do have that. And he does have Left Behind, and basically when you're the last person in the, in the match and you have the killer, you can actually see the aura of the hatch. So I mean, this is not the worst, especially if you're playing by yourself, but you shouldn't always try to play for hatch. Even though it does give extra blood points, if you're in the match with survivors, other survivors, make sure you finish all the gens. Then you can stay after they probably escape to try to look for hatch, and yeah, that'll be it. After this, it is kind of different the route you can go. You can either go, if you like to be chased, Jake has a very good perk called Iron Will, which when you're like injured, you don't moan and groan, yeah, you don't do any of that, because at level 3 this would be 100%, and yes, it is very beautiful. So I would suggest also getting this perk, from Jake if you like chases. Cloud has a it used to be very meta. It's still pretty good. But I'd have to run it with Botany for it to be faster, because this is basically 50% the normal healing speed. So the normal healing speed is 16 seconds, but this kicks it all the way up to 32, which is a lot of time, because in this game, buying time is the name of the game. You're basically like, when the killer is chasing someone, they're buying time for you guys to do gens. You guys have like generators. Time, that's time. Generator is 80 seconds. It's a lot. 400 seconds basically for 5 gens. And that's like if you don't run away off the gen, all that stuff. So this can take up a lot of time. So you kind of need like Botany knowledge, which will increase this, and that can also help. But yeah, she does. I mean, these are nice in solo queue if you don't have someone to heal you all the time. It can help, but it is very situational, where if you should heal or if you should complete that gen. There is a lot of situations where that can occur. And then after that, we do have the perks from Meg Thomas. She does have like, all 3 of her perks are really, really good. Really good. Adrenaline, when all 5 generators are done, basically when the exit gates are powered, you heal 1 health state and you get like a 5-second, for 5 seconds, you get 150% speed boost. And this happens regardless of exhaustion. So say you run sprint burst, this exhausts you, so you really can't use like another exhaustion perk. This overrides that, as well as if you're on the hook, if you get off of the hook while the like, say you're on the hook, 5 gens get popped, someone unhooks you after that, you're going to get instantly healed. It still heals you through that. It heals you off the ground. It's really, really good. This is a really good perk, but it's only good if the generators are getting done. That is the only time that it matters. Like, this perk is S tier as long as the gens get done. This is one of the best perks in the game. Sprint burst, another really good perk. This perk is really good because, like, say you're in the middle of nowhere doing a generator. If the killer comes, you usually cannot make it to a place where a pallet or a vault is. But sprint burst can help you make it there. Yeah, it's just that good. There's a lot of ways to go in depth about this perk, but it's still really good. Quick and quiet, like basically at level 3, it's 20 seconds. So every 20 seconds, whatever fast noise, like jumping in a locker or fast vaulting or doing things like that, it does not make a sound. The killer does not, because like, if you didn't know, those make sounds like if you quickly vault and quickly go into a locker or quickly vault something, that makes a sound. The killer can actually is notified of that, as well as if they're in a chase, they actually, sound is very important to killers. So this, making them have no sound can fool them a lot. So it's really good. So her perks are the best, but to me, it's like you still need blood points. Like say because you can escape, but if you don't have blood points while you escape, there's like many times where I was playing on my brand new account where some survivors would escape, but they'd only have like 8,000 blood points. That's like two things in a blood like if you look at a blood web, right? That's two things. Like filling this out is going to take about like 50,000. You do not get that by doing nothing. You have to actually do a few things in game, like being chased, doing generators, healing, unhooking, and then surviving. Surviving gives you 5,000. So if you only have 8,000, what were you doing in game? Type thing, you know? Um, and then we have Dwight. So I mean, like, prove thyself to me is like prove thyself in Bond, but really prove thyself for the BP, for the BP, for the BP. It says gain 50% more BP, you know, for co-op actions, you know. But the thing is, like, what this does is this also speeds the progression of generators. Like when there's another person with you, you speed your other person's like how fast they do gens if you're within 4 meters of them, which is really really good. This really helps out a lot, especially if you're new to the game, because if you're all new, sometimes people go down to the killer really fast. So this helps do generators really fast, so you don't have so the person who's getting chased does not have to buy as much time. As well as Bond, Bond just lets you know where other survivors are on the map, and basically, well, within 36 meters. And information is the name of the game a lot of the time. Mainly in this game, especially if you're solo queue, you need a lot of information. Information helps you. Information is key, because how would you know if to go for unhook, what's safe, where's the killer at, things such as that, who's getting chased. You know, information is key. But these are well, and then we have Nia. I will speak about Nia's perk. Uh, no, this perk though. This is the only perk I'd probably get off of Nia, which is balance landing. Basically, the you have the 75% stagger reduction, and you make no sound when you go down. But this is only when you're not exhausted. And then when you hit that ground, you do have 150% running speed for 3 seconds. So it's an exhaustion perk. And yeah, basically this is good just for like falling off of things like the tractor, or you know, harvester, tall buildings, just to give you that speed boost if you're running from killers. So yeah, this is pretty good. The other perks, I don't think they're as good. This is situational, and I don't mean for hiding. I mean when you're looping from a huntress and there's something that she can throw over, but if you crouch, you don't get hit. You can like this will help you crouch rush it basically. The other things that not really necessary. Other than that, there are a few free perks without like purchasing, because you can use iridescent shards to unlock certain characters to get their perks, but there's a few perks on here that are free that I would also recommend, or I would say that are good, especially starting off. So the first one being, I have to, let me see. Actually, I'm gonna go to number one right now. So Kindred. So this perk basically, you know, unlock basically when you're on hook, every survivor can see your aura. I mean, not your aura. Can see each other's aura. Every survivor can see each other's aura, which is good because then they would know if someone's going to unhook you or not. As well as at level 3, if the killer's within 16 meters of your hook, they can see that killer. You can see him too. As also, if another survivor's on the hook while you have this perk, you can see every other survivor. So you know if they're going for the unhook or not. As well as you can see the killer if they're within 60 meters. So this is a really good perk. Lightweight, I wouldn't bother too much with this, not yet. Now there is a few more perks. I'd say I just have to look at them because it is kind of weird right now. They did get renamed. Situational awareness. This is really good. It's like a weird version of Kindred Bond put together for me. Like, to me, that's how it feels like to me. So, like, what it's saying is like the aura of a generator you are currently repairing is revealed to all other survivors within 32 meters. That's really good. So, if someone has proved that self, or if you have proved that self, this helps them know, hey, there's someone over here. We can tackle this gen. You know, do gens, get it done very fast. That's one thing. If someone's getting chased by a killer, they see the aura on your generator. They can also know to avoid that, to buy you time for you to do the generator and not interrupt you. As well as you see if the killer downs a survivor while you're repairing the generator, you see all other survivors for 10 seconds. That's really good. That is very, very good. It helps a lot. Now, another one would be small game. There are perks called hex perks in the game. Like, there's one called No One Escapes Death. Basically, when all the gens are done, like, everyone is basically one shot. Like, no matter how. Jesus Christ. Yeah, and so small game, you know, it helps against a lot of hex perks, which are basically perks that are tied to totems, and the totem will be lit up. So there are a few that are very popular, like Hex Ruin, Hex No One Escapes Death. Those are like the two ones that are very popular. One of them, basically, when all 5 gens are done, everyone is one shot. If you're healed, you get one hit down. If you're yeah, it's horrible. And then we got like Ruin, Hex Ruin. Basically, if you get off a generator, that generator regresses and by 200%. So basically your gen can be dead within like 20 seconds of you getting off of it. Not depending on how far you got it. So basically it undoes your progression of a gen. It's terrible. So this perk helps you find totems to do. And another perk that is also really good is Spine Chill. This perk also, like, it just lets you know if the killer's looking in your direction. That doesn't mean every single time that this perk lights up that you run away from your gen. That just helps. It just helps you know if they're looking in your gen, like, direction, and also helps against stealth killers, killers with no heartbeat. The only time you should be getting off, if that heartbeat is getting a little bit too tense, yeah, you probably should get off that generator and go to somewhere safe. You know. But I think, ooh, actually, there's one more perk. I'd say that it's really good to, that can really help, and that is Deja Vu, sadly. All this does is let you know where 3 generators is that are close to each other for 60 seconds. Every time a generator is complete, it like shows up the next, like, 3 more generators. So basically, one, this helps you knowing positions of generators and helps you know how generators can spawn. 2, this helps you with, you know, there's 7 generators on a map, right? So if you do 4, there's 3 left. Sometimes it's a strategy for killers to make the last 3 gens the closest ones so they can patrol them easier. So this can help counteract that because it lets you know which 3 generators are the closest. And that's why this is very good. Especially in solo queue. You want to try to get out certain generators as fast as possible. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. It is getting pretty long. I will be probably back tomorrow again for another video talking about various other things for beginners just to help out a little bit more.
'cause I have to help my fellow survivors out. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. But thank you for sticking it out. If you did, you know, I really appreciate it. This video got really, really long. I didn't think it would. But you guys have a great day. And see y'all on the flip side. Smile.